Locally, we're preparing for a tough winter. Across the globe, things are heating up, and not in a good way. We're making sure our preps and our pantry are fully stocked. You want to store what you eat what you store. People ask me what some of my most frequently used ingredients are. This is definitely one of them. They charge up, they warm up, and then they can also be used as an emergency phone charger as well. We are giving away our best prize package yet. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome back everyone. Today I've got a prepper pantry haul for you. Winter is coming and things are looking pretty scary around the world. If there's one lesson we learned from the last few years, it's that events around the world have ripple effects that can and will reach us. And we never know what's coming around the bend. We're likely to get hit with the last thing we would ever expect. So the best thing we can do is to be prepared for anything and everything. And that means adding a little bit to our preps every week, a little more every month, trying new things, and learning new things. With that being said, come along and I'll show you everything that we added to our preps and our pantry this week. Now I'm gonna start over here on this side. Now this bag right here is full of instant beans. This is gonna be instant kidney beans. This is a 15-pound bag. Instant beans are beans that have been cooked and dehydrated, so they are going to cook up a lot faster than your typical dry bean. So they're great for meals in a jar, and they're great for all prepping purposes really, because you don't want to waste a lot of fuel cooking dry beans for hours. You also might not want to use extra water soaking them. So this is a 15-pound bag. Now remember, you can't really compare the weight of dried beans to the weight of instant beans because they've been dehydrated, so they're going to be lighter. So with dehydrated and freeze-dried foods, you really can't compare weights to, what you would pay per pound in a grocery store of the regular product. I had been buying my dehydrated beans in quart jars like this, quart-sized containers, but I've been going through a lot of them making chili meals in a jar, and I'm sure I'll be going through a lot more of them doing soups and things like that. So I finally realized that the price was a lot better per pound buying it in this 15-pound bag. And it also got me free shipping. And the company threw in this little free sample bag of chicken TVP, which is texturized vegetable protein. It's like a vegetarian meat substitute, which will be perfect making meals in a jar for my daughter, who's a vegetarian. This store, Mother Earth Products, is actually one of my favorite places to buy TVP. And I'm not sure, I don't think they've ever thrown a free sample in before, so I'm not sure if it's because I bought such a big bag of beans, but it was really nice of them to do. Next, I have these two cases here, which is going to be my canister sets, 2 more sets of the canisters that I use in my kitchen for a lot of my working pantry dry goods. I use these a lot, so I like to have a couple extra sets on hand, so when I come up with a new food I need to store, I have them. And you can see it comes with a small, medium, and large rectangle, and this set is the only way I can get the small rectangle, which holds 4 cups. And I use that one quite a bit, so I like to always buy this set. Next, I've got a box of graham cracker crumbs. Now, of course, we use these for your typical magic cookie bars and all that. But I recently saw a video where a young man made pumpkin bread with, I think, only 3 ingredients, and one of those ingredients was graham cracker crumbs. And obviously pumpkin, can't remember what his 3rd ingredient was, but I think it was something shelf stable. So I had an idea that I could do that as part of a meal in a bag or a dessert for a meal in a bag. So I got some more graham cracker crumbs so I could test that out. If you want to see a little bit more about my meals in a bag, I do have a playlist that I'll link down in the description box. Next, I've got 2 of these large 28-ounce cans of Keystone beef. This is the shredded beef, like roast beef. We love Keystone meats. I just used a can of this in my latest meal in a bag, and we always like to replace what we use from our food storage. So I got 2 more cans of the Keystone beef. And then behind that, I've got a case of this Del Monte Southwest corn. This is corn with poblano peppers and red peppers in it, and it's really, really good actually. Now I typically buy the Great Value canned corn for 64 cents a can, so it was a little painful to pay over $2 a can for this, but it definitely has a different flavor. And I've used it in a few recipes lately. You might remember me using it in my cowboy pasta salad meal in a bag a few months ago. It's really delicious, and it just gives a really different touch to the recipes I've used it in. So I wanted to make sure I had some on hand. For a while I couldn't find it in the store, and I got a little concerned, so I grabbed a case of it. I'm not sure if it's a special edition or a limited time, or if they're always going to have it, but you just never know. And then the next case up here, this has seen better days. I was a little bit disappointed. It came all taped up, so you can see the tape is stuck to these front cans, so the label's coming off, but I think it'll be okay because we do want to try a couple of cans of this. This is something I'd never heard of before. Let me get one out to show you what it is. This is something that my friend Dennis told me about. Hi Dennis and Zach, if you're watching. I think you probably are. This is breakfast sausage hash. Now I love, love, love corned beef hash. Most of the people in my household love it. I had never heard of this breakfast sausage hash. I don't know if it's new or if I just never noticed it. I kind of can't believe that, but when he told me about this and said that it was really good, I said, I've got to try this. So I ended up grabbing a case. I can't remember if this was from Walmart or Amazon. It would have been wherever I found the cheapest price per can, but I will definitely put the link down in the video description for you. And I'm really excited to try this. So we'll definitely be cooking up those front few cans that are stuck to the tape and have a damaged label. And next, this is a 6-pack of pineapple preserves, and I bought it this way because this was the cheapest price per jar that I could find. I got this for a recipe for some sweet and sour Hawaiian meatballs, I think it is, a crock pot recipe, and I'm sure there are lots of other ways that we'll use this. So that's why I grabbed these. Now, these were some canned foods, and then over here, this stuff is in cans, but it's very, very different than your typical canned foods. These things that I have right here are freeze-dried foods. This is the cream of the crop. These are very large cans. They're number 10 cans, which is about a gallon size. You actually can get some regular foods like this in number 10 cans, but of course that would be difficult for you to use that all up before it went bad unless you were having a large gathering. The freeze-dried foods, once you open them, you have usually about a year to use what's in the cans. And the quality and the taste and the texture and everything on freeze-dried food is just going to be a whole different ballpark than your typical canned foods. Freeze-drying also maintains a lot more nutrients than your traditional canning process. And that's why people love it so much. That's why everybody's buying freeze dryers. And if they're not buying freeze dryers, they're buying freeze-dried food. And a lot of people are doing both. I've actually talked to at least 3 different people that I know in the last week or so that have freeze dryers that are also buying freeze-dried food because they just can't freeze dry it fast enough themselves. Or maybe there's something that they don't want to do in their house because it stinks their house up, or it's just difficult to do on your own, so they prefer to buy it. But what I have here is I have 3 things that I got cases of, which a case of these number 10 cans is going to be 6 cans. So I've got strawberries. I got a case of those because this is all stuff that's on sale this month in November. I typically buy from what's on sale to get the most bang for my buck. And the strawberries are a great deal right now, and my kids absolutely love snacking on these, and so they can go through a can in no time flat. So I thought I'd better buy a case while they were on sale. And this is a really perfect example of something that you can't really get any other way, shelf stable. You could get maybe a strawberry jelly or a canned pie filling, but it's not the same as eating, you know, just a strawberry. And that's what this is. It's just strawberries. There's no sugar, there's no anything else. And if you're familiar with snacking on freeze-dried fruit, you know that it's really amazing. And my kids think so too. But if we were suddenly unable to get food from the grocery store for whatever reason, strawberries is something, yes, we could probably grow them ourselves. We do grow some strawberries, but we'd only have them a couple of months out of the year. So we always try to make sure that we stock quite a few freeze-dried strawberries. Next, I got chopped onions. I got a case of those as well. And that's because they're on an overstock special right now. So they're a really, really good deal. If you want to keep track of these deals, you can text SALE to the number that I'll put down on the bottom of the screen. And I'll also put it down in the video description. And we will send you a text message whenever we have a good sale, coupon code, flash sale, things like that. But these are an overstock deal, which means they've taken an extra 10% off of an already sale price, and they are going to be 1 to 2 years into their shelf life. But because they have a 25-year shelf life, I'm definitely not worried about that. We will go through these. I use these in my jar meals all the time. People ask me what some of my most frequently used ingredients are in my meals in a jar. This is definitely one of them. This is one of them. This is one of them right here. So those are some things that I use all the time. And the chopped onions I've started using a lot more in my everyday cooking because, to be honest, I just got so sick of finding, you know, half an onion down in the produce drawer, just all wrinkled up and all ready to be thrown away. And I just found I was wasting so much food because I'd use half of the onion and stick it in the drawer and just kind of forget about it. And then I open another onion the next time I need half an onion, and then I've got 2 onions going bad in my drawer. So this just helps me cut down on the food waste that we have in our house. And then the other thing that I got a case of is the corn, because like I said, that's one that I use in a lot of different recipes. It's good in all sorts of Southwest type of recipes, chowders, things like that. And it was a really good deal, so I did grab a case of that. And then these 3 down here, I just got 1 can. The peaches. Now the kids also like to snack on the peaches. They are very tasty, but they don't go through them as fast as they do the strawberries. And I do actually like to use the peaches in desserts sometimes too, especially a dessert in a jar. like a peach cobbler or something like that. So I wanted to grab a can of those. And the cheddar cheese, this is on sale. And this is another thing that, number one, I like to use in meals in a jar. And number two, there's just really no other way that you're going to have shelf-stable cheese. This is just real shredded cheese, like the kind that you would buy at the store and keep in your fridge. It's dry. You just add a couple tablespoons of water to it and let it set, and you've got cheese. It's real cheese. It melts. It's great. There's really no other way that you're going to have that kind of cheese in an emergency. There are people who can cheese. A lot of people won't do that because it's not considered safe and approved in our country. And it does change the texture. It's just not the same if you do that as it was fresh. And so this is definitely the way to go. And then ground beef, of course. This is one that I use in all sorts of meals in a jar. We use it when we go camping so we don't have to take raw meat. This is one of our most used items. I did place this order already, even though I know they have a huge Black Friday sale coming up, because number one, I know these items are already on their steepest discount for this month. So they're not going to go any lower for Black Friday. And I wanted to make sure that I grabbed this stuff just in case it sold out, because some of this is overstock clearance priced. Then I will make another order during Black Friday. This sale is huge every year in our community. So if you want to make sure you're prepared to shop and not miss out on the amazing discounts, because they always have prices up to 50% off, there's a few things you can do. First, follow our link in the description below the video and set up a free customer account with us. Then you'll be ready to shop. You'll be on our list to get an email as soon as the sale goes live, and you'll be eligible to enter our latest drawing. We are giving away our best prize package yet. One of these brand new survival meal buckets and a November specials pantry can pack. Anyone who has an account with us can enter the drawing, even if you've never made a purchase. So just get yourself set up and then text winner to my number that I'll put down on the bottom of the screen to secure your entries. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel and that you have your notification bell turned on, because we do giveaways like this a lot on our channel. In fact, in the next few weeks coming up, we are going to be giving away an awesome portable power station to one lucky subscriber, and I am super excited about that. Second, make sure that you're getting our Thrive Life sale alerts by texting sale to that same number, and we'll send a notification right to your phone as soon as the sale starts, and also anytime that there's a new sale, a coupon code, or a flash sale. Thrive Life does have their Black Friday sale coming up really soon. We don't have the details yet, but if you want to know as soon as we get them, then like I said, text sale to the number that I said before. Click the link down in the description and set up an account so that you'll be ready to shop the sales, because things do sell out quickly. And we'll also be able to email you when you have that account set up. And the other way that you could get ready to shop the sale ahead of time is to become a consultant, because consultants do get early access to these big sales, which is actually pretty important because sometimes the best things will sell out right away on that first day of access. So if you want more information about that, then check the description box in the video, because this sale is going to be huge. Over here, I have a few more things in number 10 cans, and then some things in buckets and jugs. Down here, I have some pumpkin powder. This is actually a really big, it's a bucket. It's not a can, but it's a 1 gallon bucket. So this is a lot of pumpkin powder. I think it was a pretty good deal. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I'll have the link down below. This is going to be for some fall goodies in jars. Pumpkin muffins, pumpkin breads, maybe pumpkin cookies. I'm not really sure everything that I'm going to be doing with it yet, but I was really excited to find this. I've bought pumpkin powder before, but I've never found it in such a big container for such a good price. And then I've also got these couple of things, which are also going to probably be for my baking adventures, things in a jar. The shortening powder, of course. I'm working on some cookie mixes in a jar, and when I make my cookies, I usually use half butter and half shortening. There's just differences between the texture of the finished cookie, whether you use shortening or butter, and I'm thinking shortening powder and butter powder are also going to give different results. And so I got this shortening powder because I was out of what I had bought before. So I'm going to be experimenting with that. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you're interested in seeing some of those recipes. The coconut oil powder I kind of stumbled across while I was looking for the shortening powder, and I think it can be used for a lot of different things. These are both non-GMO and keto friendly. And so I think I'm going to find a lot of uses for them besides just the baking. All of these freeze-dried items as well, I forgot to mention, are all non-GMO as well. No additives and no preservatives in any of these except for a little bit of salt in the beef. Then back here I've got a few Augustin Farms items. They had some really great deals on Amazon. Now I did post about a lot of these deals in our new group, Wicked Prepared Deals and Steals. So give me a $sign down in the comments if you are in that group. And if you're not, go ahead and look for it on Facebook and check it out, because I'm going to be posting deals on all kinds of different prepper items there whenever I find them. I grabbed some peanut butter powder. Once again, this is really intended for some of my baking mixes in jars probably, but there's a lot of uses for peanut butter powder. Peanut sauce, meals in a jar, I use it for that also. I love anything with peanut sauce. Lots of uses for peanut butter powder. This is another TVP like I talked about before. It's a meat substitute. This is a beef flavored one. A lot of times this is used to stretch meat further because it's a cheaper alternative. So if you are trying to do meals in a jar and you're trying to do it with more dehydrated ingredients and save some money, you might want to try using a beef flavored TVP in place of real freeze-dried ground beef. And then the butter powder. A lot of you jumped in on this deal. This was a really good deal for this gallon-sized can of butter powder. Once again, this is going to be used in some baking projects, some meals in a jar. We use it in a lot of different things. And that was a really great deal. Over here, I've got a lot of Amazon things. First, I've got these rechargeable hand warmers. I'm really excited to try these out and see how these are. They charge up, they warm up, and then they can also be used as an emergency phone charger as well, like a power bank, like a small power bank. So of course, living here in Maine, we get some really cold weather, and sometimes you really want to have hand warmers, especially if you're stuck in your car or the power goes out during the winter. You need to keep yourself warm. So I'm going to be getting some more of these probably for everyone in the family. These are a couple of little bags that I got, all kind of the same idea. They're all small bag that has a keychain attachment and holds just a small amount of stuff. And this is more for just everyday preparedness, EDC type of stuff. I found, like when we were traveling last month, I didn't like to dig into my bag for certain small things that I use a lot, like little hand lotions, hand sanitizers, chapstick, lip gloss, that type of thing. So I'm trying out some different small bags like this to see what I can use to keep on the outside of my bag. Not just when we're traveling, but just in everyday life, on the outside of my purse, outside of my backpack, whatever I'm using. I think this is going to be a favorite because it is super cute. Has two different sections of the pouch with the zipper. I'm just not sure if it's going to be tall enough for my lip glosses. This one came in a 2-pack. It had a black one, and I immediately took it and hung it on my bag and was able to fit 3 lip sense tubes in it. So I'm definitely a fan of these, but I'm going to be trying them all out for different things. These little individual toothbrushes, these are individually wrapped. I know they have the, what are they called? Wisp, maybe, those other individual disposable toothbrushes with some toothpaste on them. But I was looking for something that was, each brush was individually wrapped, and I've never found the other type like that. I found small packs with maybe 2 in them at Dollar Tree, but they're not individually wrapped. I just wanted to be able to stick these in different kits and places and have each one be individually wrapped, so I grabbed these. They look pretty cool because they've got a floss and a toothpick and the pre-pasted toothbrush. So we'll see how they are. These would be great even just to keep in the car, any place that you might need to brush your teeth, you know, unexpectedly. Some blue spirulina powder. You probably remember I talked about green spirulina in a recent video about some of the healthiest foods to store in your prepper pantry. And they also have a really beautiful color. So the blue spirulina can add a really, really nice like ocean blue color to whatever you put it in. So I wanted to get some of that too. I did grab it. I did look it up, and the green spirulina has a lot more nutrients than the blue. So I'll probably go with that a lot more, but I just wanted the blue to be able to use the color, and it does have health benefits, just not quite as many as the green spirulina. And if you're wondering what spirulina is, it is an algae that is a dietary supplement. I do have a lot more information about what it has in it that's so good for you in my video about the healthiest foods for your prepper pantry, so I will link that down below. Now this is a bag of allulose sweetener. This is what they call a non-nutritive sweetener, I believe, meaning that it doesn't have calories and it doesn't have carbs. I've been trying to look for different, you know, carb-free and calorie-free sweeteners that maybe are a little bit more healthy than some of the other ones, or maybe have a better taste and just work better in recipes and things like that. So this is one that I wanted to give a try. Let me know if you've ever tried allulose and how you like it. And then back here, this is a little bit sideways, but this is something that's brand new on my radar: black soybeans. I found out about these when I was searching for low carb and keto food storage items, because I do get a lot of people commenting that they need Things that are lower in carbs, whether they have, you know, diabetics in their household or that's just the way that they have to eat for whatever reason. So I'm looking at more recipes like that and more food storage items like that. It's kind of how I tend to eat also myself, more low carb. So this is actually a bean that is considered keto from all the research that I did. So I got some to try. These are dried beans, and then I have a case of canned black soybeans coming as well that I'll probably have in my next haul. But this is something I'm definitely anxious to try out. And then I've got some seasonings. So I like to get these big, about 1 pound size seasonings. I've got ground thyme here. This is a little bit different than the more leaf thyme, and so this can be used in differently in recipes. These are just flavors you see a lot in a lot of your fall cooking. You know, things with chicken and turkey and stews and things like that, soups. So I got the ground thyme and the poultry seasoning because I'm going to be making just a lot of different meals in a jar, mixes in jars, things like that. So I needed to stock up on some more of those. And then this one, let's see, this one I've gotten before, potato salad seasoning. It's a pretty small container, so I thought I would grab another one even though I haven't even opened the last bottle I got yet. And then this is a salt, pepper, and garlic blend. I thought that was kind of handy, like a time saver. I mean, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, those are usually like everyone's go-to seasonings that you're gonna put in. So to be able to put them all in at once, I just thought that was a neat little time saving. And I'm sure you could make this yourself, and I probably will make it myself, but I thought I'd try this one to start with. And then this is 1.5 pounds of maple sprinkles. I thought this would be, I think I was looking for maple chips, like chocolate chips, but maple flavored, and I couldn't find anything like that. And so I found these, and I thought this would be the next best thing for lending a little bit of maple burst to some baked goods or maybe some breakfast items and things like that. Then over here I've got a bunch of different nuts. Nuts are a great thing to have in the prepper pantry. You do have to watch that you don't store them for too long because nuts can go rancid, but you can store them for a little while, at least 6 months to a year. It really depends on how they're stored and the type of nuts. Some nuts I have better luck with than others. If you can store your nuts in the freezer, they're going to stay good a lot longer, but of course we try to avoid anything that has to be stored in the freezer because we try to avoid anything that relies on the power grid. These slivered almonds, I was going to get them from Azure Standard, but they were out of stock and they weren't going to ship. And this was actually a really good deal at the time that I bought them. They had a coupon or a deal or something, so they were marked way down. And I think I got an extra % off maybe for getting 4 of them. And slivered almonds is something that we eat a lot of. My daughter likes to snack on them. I like to put them in salads. You want to store what you eat what you store. I mean, I'll snack on these just by the handful if that's what I had. So slivered almonds was what needed replacing, so that's what we got this time. I also got a couple of these flavored cashews. Somebody gave me a bag of these dill pickle ones, and they were really good, so I just wanted to order some more, and then I saw this flavor, and I thought it sounded really good. I really like the rosemary. I think there's a rosemary Triscuit flavor that's really good. So I thought maybe that these cashews might taste a little bit like that. Once again, healthy snack. Nuts are a good concentrated source of calories. If you are in an emergency and food is harder to find, they're going to give you a good source of protein. They're just a good thing to have on hand. Just make sure you're going to be able to eat through your supply before they go bad. So whether you have a 6-month supply on hand that you rotate through, or a year's supply, or even you have just a 1-month supply or a 2-month supply, whatever works for you, that's what you should do. And then once again, some more nuts. This is macadamia nuts. I love to snack on these, and I also like these in baking. And they're one of the better nuts for keto, I believe. However, this is one that I've had the worst trouble with as far as going rancid. So definitely don't buy more than just a few months worth of macadamia nuts at a time, probably. I've never really paid attention to how long I've had them before they do go rancid, but I just know that it's one that usually goes rancid more quickly. I do have a jar back here of dried tomato flakes. These are going to be for some recipes for meals in a jar. They're great to have to sprinkle into a lot of things. I was hoping to dehydrate a lot of tomatoes myself this year, but we had issues with our garden. You probably know that our garden flooded, and we lost a lot of what we had planted, which was pretty much most all of our tomatoes and a lot of other things. So it just wasn't in the cards for me to dehydrate tomatoes from our garden this year. And so I bought these. It's going to save me some time. I don't really love tomatoes from the grocery store anyway, so I didn't want to go through the bother of dehydrating them if they weren't from our very own garden. Right here, this is a 6-pack. Once again, it was the cheapest way per bottle. This is a caramel corn popcorn seasoning. Now we could use this for what its intended purpose is, because popcorn kernels is a really great thing to store in your prepper pantry. They'll store a long time. It's a great snack that you could make over a wood fire or anything. But I also had in mind one of my sort of mixes in a jar that I'm trying to come up with. I wanted a caramel flavor, so I thought about using this. And so I'm going to do some experimenting with that, and we're going to see how that comes out. And if it doesn't come out well, like I said, we can use it on popcorn. It will be just fine. Probably be good on pancakes and all sorts of things. And then the last thing I have here is about a dozen boxes of these Nature Valley soft oatmeal squares. This is a good, quick, easy snack or breakfast type of thing that people can grab and go. I have used these when I made homemade MRE packs. Pack these in there for a breakfast. The kids like to have them to grab and go. They'd be a good thing to keep in your car. You should always keep some food in your car, and you need to have something that's not going to be too affected by heat or cold, because the temperatures can change so much in your vehicle. So these have a lot of good uses, but my daughter really loves them and she goes through them pretty quickly. So I've got a dozen boxes here. I think this is probably enough for us to store. So at this point, it's just going to be replacing boxes as we use them. That's how you do your food storage, is you buy extra until you have as much as you want to store, whatever feels right for you and your family. And then you just go into the routine of replacing them as you use them. Okay guys, that was a look at what we stocked up on lately. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and always come at your preps logically, with a plan, and from a place of reason, not a place of fear. But do it, stick with it, and encourage others to do it too, because the better prepared that our neighbors are, the better off we will be as well. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook if you're not already part of our family there. We would love to have you join us. Make sure to join our deals group, because with Black Friday and the holidays coming up, there are going to be so many good deals on long-term food storage and prepper gear, and the best gift you can give yourself or just about anyone else is the gift of peace of mind through preparedness. Don't forget to register for your Thrive Life account through our link below, so that you'll be all set up to shop the huge Black Friday deals and enter our customer drawing. Make sure that you use the link in the description and that you see my name and picture up at the top of your screen. After you register, text WINNER to our text number to get your entries in. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a thumbs up down in the comments, and be sure to check out this haul next, where I scored some wicked good deals on preps. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.